Hey guys, welcome back to DETALKS. I got Mr. Yvan Lacroix of Optimum Polymer Technologies.
My pleasure, sir.
Welcome, my friend. It's good
Thank you.
to have you back. Just a quick little video we're going to do here is some customer service tips. What's the best way to retain a customer, make your customer happy, how to maybe save a customer that maybe is unhappy with the service, things of that nature.
Right.
I've been detailing for 19 years. I've had my own shop for about 4, but I've managed a number of different businesses and other detail shops. And so I've always, I never thought of myself as a person who was good at customer service, but one day my wife said, no, you're really good. Like, you don't understand the stuff you're actually doing.
Yeah.
And as detailers, a lot of us don't realize that we are doing customer service. There is that person is paying for something, we give them something in return for that money, and we want them to be happy.
Exactly. Well, detailing is a service-based business, and I've always said I don't run a detailing shop. I own a customer service center. Clean, shiny cars are a side effect of that.
Right, which is an amazing, it's just a great topic.
Yeah, and one of my key components to customer service, if you're wanting to give your customer proper service, be profitable. If you're not profitable, you won't be there to serve them next year. So always keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
It's nice to be able to give the customer that little extra, sure. But if they bought a hot dog, don't give them a steak.
Yeah.
You might give them a chili cheese dog, but don't give them a steak.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to remember, because there's a lot of us that once we get into, say, just your typical wax job, we see a spot and we're like, oh, we can polish that out. It's only going to take me 20 minutes. I could probably do that for them.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't want to put that time into it, if they're only going to be running through the car wash down the street, or you don't want to do a full paint correction on their car.
Yeah.
Like, some of us can get into that where we're like, it's fine. It's my buddy's car. I'm going to help him out. Well, what's your time worth at that point?
Or the customer paid for a one-step paint correction, and sure, you might only use a finishing polish and a finishing pad, but you took 8 hours to do it.
Right.
It would have been faster to go to a cutting compound, do a cut, and finish. And that comes down to, what did you sell your customer?
Right.
What did the customer want to pay? What's their budget? What's their expectation? And you can always call the customer and say, look, we washed the car, we decontaminated it, we saw that it was worse than we expected.
And you can upsell that.
Yeah. So, serving your customer is dealing with their expectations, dealing with your expectations, because as detailers, we want every car to be perfect.
Right. Yeah. And it's hard to send a car out and go like, oh, I should have, like, if there's so many scratches, but hopefully it's just washed.
Yeah. I
always feel bad when a customer picks up their minivan and it's hammered.
Right.
But they only paid us for an interior detail.
Right.
And with our interior, we just do a quick hand wash. And we just dress the tires for them. That's it.
Right.
But I always feel bad because I'm like, oh, paint scratch and it's not shiny. Yeah. I'm sorry about that, but I have to let myself know they didn't pay for that.
No, and we have to put ourselves in the customer's perspective. The customer is paying for a certain service. The customer has expectations, and dealing with those expectations is what we do as customer service representatives, because that's what we are.
Right.
And as customer service representatives, that's what we're doing. Sometimes I'll deliver a car to a customer and I'm the same as you. I'll look at it and, look, God, it looks terrible. Customer's like, oh, it's never looked this good.
Right. Yeah.
Their version of looking good and our version of looking good are two different things. Exactly. You went to a car show on the weekend and you judged the paint at the car show.
Yeah, we said we were going to need to make a worst paint award.
Exactly.
It was one of those where it was hard to find the best paint.
Yeah.
At that car show.
Right. It was hard to find good paint, never mind the best paint.
Yeah, so. and it was hard to find a car that was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, not every single one of them was.
No.
And that was to be expected. But again, every level is different for each customer.
And when we're correcting paint, we want to remove that scratch. We want to get rid of that scratch completely. Customer wants a shiny scratch.
Yeah.
They don't care that it's not 100% gone. They want their paint to be in good condition. And that's another thing. Are you doing your customer good service by removing that scratch 100%, by wet sanding it, getting it out, and thinning their clear coat to a point where it's potential paint failure down the road?
No.
Or you're doing your customer service by rounding off the corners of the scratch so it's not perceptible to the eye anymore unless they get up close, and they're happy with that.
Yeah.
You know, we might still see the scratch, but to the customer, there's no more scratch.
Right. And that's kind of a hard thing to get over. A lot of us just, especially guys that are starting out, they tend to want to over deliver on the work. And we had a customer bring his vehicle in. He looked at our menu, figured out what he wanted, said, "This is what I want." He had another detailer locally do the exact same thing to his truck a year before. Yeah. And when he came and picked up his truck, we were walking it. And he was like, "Well, you didn't do this, you didn't do this, you didn't do this." Yeah. And we explained to him, "Well, you didn't pay for that stuff." Yeah. And he said, "Well, the other detailer down the street, he did it for this much money. Yeah. And he did all those things." Right. And I had to tell him, "Well, I think he was just trying to get your business. We could do that for you, but this is another price point. This is what we do with that." In the end, I offered to, "Hey, bring it back. We'll touch up some of the spots that you weren't happy with. Yeah. We'll take care of that." But, we thought we had delivered the proper expectations to the customer. But in his mind, from the last detailer that did his car at another company, he was hoping to get all these extra things.
Right. Under promise, over deliver is a good thing. Right. But don't under promise and go way over.
Right. This was a lot of stuff that was
exactly. Like I said, give them a chili cheese dog if they bought a hot dog. Yeah.
No, they gave him steak for a hot dog price.
Exactly. So, with customer service, it's knowing how to deal with your customers, knowing how to properly deal with yourself, your expectations, marrying those with the customer's expectations, and finding an equilibrium between the two.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and that's just something that we all learn. Yeah. A lot of it goes back to just kind of teaching yourself and your employees to treat each of those customers how they'd expect that you would want to be treated. Right. There's a lot of guys that, first time someone says, "Oh, well, you missed a spot." "Well, I don't care, get out." Yeah. "You paid me, get out." Like, "I'm not going to fix your stuff." Like, well, you're probably not going to be in business much longer.
No, exactly.
But there are guys that are like that. Yeah. I know of guys that leave customers' cars outside with the keys in them. Yeah. And tell the customers, "Yeah, we hid the keys for you. They're good." Well, they left the keys in the ignition. Yeah. And they left the door open when they all left. Yeah. To go home, and and then they get a bad review on Google or whatever, and say, "Hey, they left the keys. Don't get your car." And they're like, "Hey," and they start fighting on Facebook or just. Don't do that. No. Exactly. We need to be better than, we need to be nicer. We need more be kinder towards our customers.
How would you like to be treated?
Yeah. Exactly. So that gets back to, some of the little tips that how you need to keep your customers, how to help retain them. If you guys have any more suggestions, please comment. Let us know. Help your fellow brethren out in the detailing industry. Yeah. A lot of us are, there's a lot of guys getting into it for the first time. A lot of old dogs that have been in it a long time.
And us old dogs can definitely learn new tricks every day.
And we can all just help each other out. So make sure you email me, Levi@theragcompany.com. Yvan, thanks for coming.
Always a pleasure, Levi.
Love having you here.
Thank you.
And just remember to keep watching, subscribe to our channel, and just keep watching right here, the Rag Company YouTube channel. Thanks.